Okay, good. So, welcome to Tabletop Talks. I'm John McLauchlan, your business coach, and this is episode 6. Currently, it's 30th of May, and today I want to talk about something that really affects everyone. And I've got Sachin on the line. Sachin, you asked me a question earlier. It's a really great question, and really, it's one of the main reasons why I wanted Tabletop Talks to kind of happen, because it's all right me giving you lots of advice, but really what I want, as your business coach is for you to say, can we talk about this? Can we address this situation? And your question earlier, let me just pull it up. So you said to me, hey, John, how do I get over the mindset of what if I'm not successful? How would people perceive me if I get into something like affiliate marketing? Okay.
Yeah.
Which is a really great question. There's lots of things going on there. So just expand on that, Sachin. Just tell me what.
Yeah. Okay. So, John, the background to these two questions, another question. I want to put forth a third question, which is, how do one get over a mindset of a desire of doing something which is beneficial for oneself, be it health or be it setting up a business, and then not doing it? The mindset of, wishing to do, having a perennial wish to earn money, be healthy, but then losing that motivation to act and get the thing done.
Yeah.
So that is the mindset, which again has brought up the questions too, which I sent to you earlier.
So give me an example. So what sort of things do you want to achieve, and what's stops you from doing it?
So for example, if we talk about health, now if I know that I want to lose weight, I've known it for last 2 years now, 3 years now.
Yeah.
What has started to affect me now is that I know I want to lose weight, but I'm not doing it. I know that, I need to exercise, I need to go on a diet, or just act, but that I'm just not able to act. That mindset doesn't allow me. The mindset would then wander off to, I have to go to office. A friend has come up, let's go for a beer. Evening get-togethers come up, forget that. I can always, the mindset is, we can always do it tomorrow. We can always start working tomorrow. We can always start eating healthy food tomorrow. That tomorrow has never come for me for the last 3 years, at least for the health point. So that's the mindset which, what is scaring me now is, I'm looking at mob, I'm looking at the system. I've just gone through 2 steps, but I can so easily relate with what is being taught, what would be taught, because of the current business I am in, which is purely digital. I need to be online. We need to sell, buy, do everything online now. So what is scaring me is, I know that this again needs to be done, but what if my mindset is not trained, or I'm again not able to do it just because of my mind?
So if you have a situation, say, with, I think, something that most people can relate to, which is dieting, because it is probably the most difficult thing ever, unless you've got a real motivation. Okay, so just bear that one in mind. So when it comes to dieting, what do you do? Do you get onto the, okay, let's go on a diet, and then how long does that sort of train of thought last? How long does that motivation?
5 minutes. 5 minutes. I think of a fancy new diet or a dietitian every day, every morning. I would take an appointment with them, but just don't go to the clinic.
Okay. And what are your thoughts behind, what is the thought that you've got that is the self-destructive thought?
I just wander off that motivation, that thought, that spark which came to me in the morning, which says, let's do it, would just, wander off during the day. I'll just lose it during the day.
So when it comes to, let's change the subject then. So when it comes to business, what are the thoughts there? Are the thoughts very similar?
Okay. Yes, absolutely. For business, I know that I need to earn, for example, $1 a month, right? And I'm currently at 10 cents. So I know I also know fairly that, maybe what to do to earn those 90 cents. But then I just don't do it. That urge to earn 90 would somewhere get lost during the day, come back in the night, haunt me during the night. It will be there in the morning. but then again I lose it. So it is a daily process. That spark comes in and I lose it.
Yeah. So what are your motivations for doing it? What are your actual motivations for moving forward and making a change?
The biggest is, see, for me, money and recognition go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the one who says I don't want money. I love money. So probably money and recognition, a pat on the back, a job well, somebody saying job well done, and having a feeling within, yes, job well done. So both these things go hand in hand.
Okay. And yet, so you want the recognition, and yet somewhere along the line you're sabotaging that recognition for something that's running.
Yeah, because the recognition would only come if you perform. I mean, how does recognition come in? It only comes in if you execute something, if you achieve something. So that achievement is missing probably as of now.
Yeah.
That sense of achievement, that sense of that exhilaration is missing as of now.
You see, what you've described is pretty much what so many people go through on a day-to-day basis, and at least you've done one thing that a lot of people don't do, and that's you've identified what the problems that you need to come over, and a lot of people don't even get that far. So the first thing really in addressing the situation is being able to understand the kind of person you are and what you're actually doing that is either in conflict or what is sabotaging you. Okay, so I always like to give the kind of, and I like to talk in analogies and keep everything really simple and straightforward. So the computer I'm talking to you on now is my all singing, all dancing computer. It's got a couple of great big TV screens in the front, and it works like instantly. It's fantastic. I love it. And if I go off and I've got to use my laptop, if I'm out of the office, then it's slow and it kind of annoys me. But my old computer over there, it's got my old programs on, and if I'm running those old programs, it's got an old operating system and it's a little bit slower, but I kind of like it. Okay. And as people, we're very similar in that, the difference between the conscious and the subconscious brains. 90% of the decision making is done subconsciously. We don't even think about it, and, if we think about now your left hand, now it's in your conscious mind, whereas before it wasn't. Now you're thinking, where's my left hand? Where is it? What's it doing?
Yeah.
So what's happening is all the decisions have been made in your subconscious, and like my old computer, okay, it's got old programs on it which are slow and which don't serve the computer very well. The computer would actually probably be quite a fast computer, but the programs I've got on it, they're old and they need updating. And we're the same as human beings. We have inbuilt programs that run subconsciously. And the only way to make a change, and sometimes making a change is painful. I've got old programs on there with loads of information. I love my information. I don't want to really change it, but changing it means making a change. And sometimes that's a little bit, uncomfortable. And we've got to try and think, what programs are we running in our own minds? Okay. So if we take diet and exercise, which is what a lot of people struggle with. Okay. So number one, think about some of the things that we've done in the past. So some of the things that we've achieved. Certainly when we get to 45, okay, people say to you, well, you're 45, you should be slowing down, you should be doing this. And then you start to get all this nonsense in your head, and you start to think, well, maybe I should slow down. Maybe I shouldn't be trying to run marathons these days. And, maybe a big waist is kind of what I should be doing. That's okay. So you've got these programs that are running, okay, and you're trying to diet, you're trying to get fit, and you're in conflict. Your conscious and your subconscious is in conflict because your conscious mind doesn't make the decisions for you. It's your subconscious, okay. So somewhere along the line there was a conflict, and you need to change that program. If you think about the relationship people have with money, it's very, very similar in that, we grow up, we're little kids, and we want to buy some sweets, or we want a new present for Christmas, and your parents says, what? You want a new bike? A new bike? What do you think I'm made of money? You know, do you think money grows on trees? You know, and all these subconscious programming that we get programmed, and they manifest in our minds, and then when we come to make money ourselves, then we could have a conflict. We get told by somebody, okay, you've got a system where you can make 50,000 a year, 100,000 a year, whatever you want to make. Your subconscious programming is telling you, do you think I made of money? Do you think you can do that? You know? And sometimes our programming tells us that the most we've ever made in our lives is 25,000 in a year. So what makes us think we can go on and make 100? So you do the system and you go through the process and you start to learn new things and you start to understand, okay, this works. I can do this. And then when you go into business, you self-sabotage things because your mindset's saying you can only earn 25,000. What's going on? You know? So the first thing you need to do really is understand what these programs are. And I'll say the same to everybody on the line. Think about the programs that you're running in your mind. And this is everything that I talk about in my podcast. Reprogram your mind for success. And it's so poignant. And when you understand how your brain works, then you can really reprogram it and you can reach any level of success that you want to. And it's not just fitness. It's to do with, you know, relationships, you know, money, success, where you live, you know, what you do, what you say when you talk to yourself. That's really important. You know, one of the things that I kind of found out for me, apart from, you know, sort of sabotage and sort of different things, but I was always relatively successful, and I always played it down because I didn't like the whole, you know, oh, you're successful, blah, blah. So, and I played it down. I played it down to such a degree, I started changing what I did. And my success went down, you know. So you've got to be really careful what you actually say to yourself. So is that kind of make sense so far?
It does. You know, another thing which I would want to ask you here is, how does one reprogram his mind? That's again a very cliched question. But when I say reprogram his mind is, how do you train your mind to be able to perform and execute and implement? You know, as you said, yes, somebody needs to follow a system, whatever part of life you are in.
Right. Again, a lot of the answers come down to those well indoctrinated cliches, you know, about going out of your comfort zone. But what I would say is give yourself little wins. Okay, Ryan Dice, digital marketer, talks about giving yourself little wins. And little wins is all about developing the confidence in yourself, because we all lack confidence in some areas. Giving yourself successes, little successes, and on the way, building things up and believing in yourself and believing in your abilities. Because what you'll start to do is you'll very slowly start to reprogram your mind, and you'll start to understand that actually, you know what, I can actually do that. And if you think about confidence, so many people lack confidence, and especially guys, women lack confidence, but women will say, I lack confidence. You know, guys that lack confidence say, no, I'm fine. Whew, you know, nothing wrong with me, you know. And that this is why, you know, there's a higher suicide rate amongst men, unfortunately. You know, so something very simple of how do you build up your confidence? Well, you've got to start to venture outside of your comfort zone. You've got to start going there. And the things that seem difficult, the things that seem like, for instance, I think one of the worst things people experience is public speaking. Okay, speaking in public or doing videos like this. You know, not like this is fine, but certainly when you have a video camera in your office and you put it on, you press record, and you kind of think of your words, and you start getting a bit sweaty and a bit, you know, it's crazy. But it's going outside of your comfort zone. And I remember speaking to a lady in Texas, and she'd never done a video. She was scared to death of doing a video. So I said to her, do you mind if we have a quick chat? She went, no, that's fine. I'll have a quick chat. And she was a therapist. And I said, well, do you mind if I just put my phone up and we just record it? Have a quick chat? She went, no, okay. And anyway, we did it, and we had a chat. And I turned to the camera and I said, okay, ladies and gentlemen, so this is Nicola. This is the first video she's ever done. So I want to give you all, give her a round of applause because this is the first video and she's completed it. And I said, how did that feel? And she went, actually, it was okay. But sometimes we build up these great big mental monsters, these images.
Yeah.
And if you think about, again, the way that we operate instinctively or primitively as human beings, we don't need to really worry too much about our own self-preservation. We're not going to get eaten by tigers, but those instincts are still there. So when we go and do something that goes outside of a comfort zone, the fear, flight, or fright kicks in, and we think we're going to get attacked. So primitively, a different side of the brain takes over. The hippocampus, the amygdala, that all takes over, and we think something's going to happen. So we go on stage and we speak in front of people, or we speak in front of a camera, and we think something's going to happen, and we freeze like this, or we want to run away, or we start fumbling our words. So in terms of changing things, number one, really important is to identify what you need to change. If it's confidence, go and do things that takes you slightly outside your comfort zone. One of the things that I do is I teach karate, and I was amazed really by the amount of grown men in business, or not in business, just grown men generally, who came to me after 6 months and said, you know what, I can't believe how much my confidence has increased because of the training and because I'm doing this, and it's just building up my confidence. Because you start very small and you build up by giving yourself lots of little wins,
Right.
The other kind of motivator there is to give yourself a real tangible goal. Okay. So, we always think we've got tomorrow. We always think, okay, health. Yeah. Okay. I've been fairly healthy. I need to lose some weight, but I'll do it tomorrow. You go to the doctor and the doctor sits you down and says, Sashi, if you don't lose 3 stone in the next 3 months, you're going to be dead, mate.
Correct.
Is that going to be a motivator?
Absolutely. I mean, that is what, so that will be motivation out of fear.
Yeah.
Motivation. Fear of death.
Yeah.
The same in business. So if you, the fear of not earning money or fear of not reaching there where you want to be, not just money, it is, so for a person like me, it is also about achieving, the sense of achievement, as I told you before.
Yeah.
So if I don't see myself getting that sense of achievement, that again is a bigger fear for me than money, actually.
Yeah. And I think going back to your question when you said, how do I get over a mindset of what if I'm not successful?
Yeah.
You kind of, everyone's definition of success is different. And from me, when I first started when I left the police and I went into business and I started doing really well, and nobody really said anything. Everyone sort of said, well, yeah, okay, well done, obviously, you're doing fairly well and this sort of thing, but nobody kind of really said anything until I started making mistakes and I started failing.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing people said, and bearing in mind this was like 10 years later, I'd made hundreds of thousands of dollars every year, and people were actually turning around to me and saying, well, do you miss the police? Do you think you should have not left? And I'm like, what? Really? You're going to ask me that question now? And people are always not motivated, but almost switched on by negative input. If you think about the news, if you think about all the nonsense on TV and the media, they thrive off people's negative emotions, and it seems to be what people are motivated by. So in terms of how would people perceive me? Does it really matter?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, I'm yes. It does not now. It really does not now. But still, that I just keep thinking, how would people see me if I'm into affiliate marketing? How would people see me if I'm on internet? How would people see me if I'm promoting myself on the internet? So,
from what perspective?
For example, I'm into international education, right? So
you're what? Sorry.
I'm into international education. We are a consulting agency. We assist students who would want to study out of India, right? So I think now this is what I perceive, that I have an image that yes, I'm an international education consultant. Now, if people start to see me that I'm in affiliate marketing, how would they perceive me? This is what I mean.
How do you think they would? Because
I've not.
see what you're talking about is like an undefined variable. You're talking about your perception of them, talking about their perception of you.
Exactly.
And
I'm just speaking my mind. Yeah.
everyone's
Yeah.
perception is different, because what you've done over the time that you're dealing with a conflict between your subconscious beliefs and your whatever and your conscious, you've developed a perception of what people think about you.
Correct.
And that, all that internal dialogue is all your own, nobody else's.
Correct. This is these are the thoughts which keep churning on my mind naturally. Churning through my mind naturally.
Yeah. And if you've always got one foot in how, what do people think of me, then you haven't got 2 feet going forwards in developing your own thing.
Exactly. I understand that. I understand this point. The best part also is, I mean, beyond all the sad questions, the best part is, yes, I understand what you said. That if I just keep keeping my, putting my foot ahead of and thinking, how are people going to perceive me, look at me, think of me, I'll never move ahead.
I mean, just before I came on the call, I was looking through my bookshelf, and I've got books from 20 years ago, 25 years ago on personal development and things. And I saw a quote from Jim Rohn, and to be quite honest with you, I'd forgotten I had the book, and I looked at it, I thought, wow, it's Jim Rohn. And he was talking about goals and how to set goals and how to achieve goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was very much talking about doing things step by step. And, if you want a process that does things step by step, then obviously you and people watching this are in the right place, because you've got steps to go for. And that's why it's been put together in that way. But, just what you want to be doing is set yourself a very small goal, okay, and then go and achieve that goal. And then the goal where you are now is to get through step 3, and then step 4. Yeah. And then just keep going forward very, very gently, but you're making those wins. And this is why a lot of people in business, you'll see them doing things like skydives. Matt Lloyd did a skydive, a few years ago, and people didn't understand why he did it. Why would you do that? Well, it's because that's where my comfort zone was, and I was scared to death, and now I've done it. So if you can jump out of a plane at 30,000 feet, do you think you can stand in front of a few people and give them some advice? Of course you can. And this is the thing: is when you start to improve your confidence and you start to readdress these programs, at first it feels really painful. Take the example. You're going to have a nice, carbohydrate-rich dinner, with lots of lovely cheese on it, and compare that feeling with having a salad and a bit of cottage cheese. Afterwards, you're feeling hungry. You feel a bit demotivated. You think, well, I'm gonna starve at this rate. But that is the process, and if you keep that going for 30 days. Remember, if you're going to change something consciously, it takes about 30 days to make it into a habit.
Okay.
So, and have that discipline to carry it through. And after 30 days, your new diet or your new regime will take over. And it takes conscious effort to keep going, to keep it up, because these programs that we have, quite often they've been manifesting for years, and we've come back to them, and we do it for years and years. So it takes a long time to change it, but you will.
Right.
Have you listened to my podcast?
No. I mean, how do I have access to it?
Right. Okay. What I'll do at the end of this recording, I'll give you access. You've got access to it already within the resources section, but I'm going to give you a direct link, because it addresses this solution head on. Okay. And again, it's really powerful information, and it will help you no end. So listen to the podcast as many times as you can, because what it is, it's not just information; it's powerful psychology. It really helps you to change those things. So
sure.
Get that as well.
Absolutely. I will do that, John.
Yeah. So is that kind of the thing is with this is that it's a really big subject, and it's a subject that we can go into for days and weeks and months of counselling and that sort of thing.
Correct.
So, I mean, we've been talking for 25 minutes and we've just kind of hit the surface, but I think it's really good that you've identified it, because I know a lot of people on the call watching this are going to relate to it. They're going to identify that, yes, everybody really, if they're honest with themselves, need to reprogram something. Yeah. Because, like I say, going from where you are now to where you want to be is always, you've always got to, go over that river full of sharks, and sometimes you can get bitten, and sometimes you're going to escape it. It's always going to be a little bit painful.
True.
We always try and make that as less painful as possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I mean, have you got anything else you want to
add? None as of now. I mean, pretty much this is what I wanted to discuss and speak to you about.
Yeah.
So I will take things as they come by, step by step. And, yeah.
Yeah, and don't sort of see this as the last sort of time you can talk about this. As your business coach, I've got 25 years experience of doing this, so I kind of
That's the reason I've reached out, John, because I know that I need some answers to my own questions, be it my own mindset, be it my own self, whatever perception, beliefs, whatever you say, in whatever term you use in psychology, but I need to have those answers, and I need to implement certain things, which I will obviously learn and then do it.
Yeah.
Opt for it. Let's see.
And the other thing is like I mentioned in the startup call, be disciplined with yourself as well, sure. Because I know from my own personal experience, sometimes I get lazy. Sometimes I think, I can't be bothered, I'll do it tomorrow. Or sometimes I'll have a day off, and then the next day I'll work for 20 hours straight. I'm trying to catch up and do this sort of thing. So we're all the same. We've all got the same, inhibitions and issues. We just sometimes we address them better than others. So.
Agreed.
Good. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I'll put a direct link in the chat room, and if anybody else has got any questions for me that you want addressing on these tabletop talks, then this is what they're for. Put your question in, and we can talk about it again. I'll come back on that afterwards. Okay. So thanks, Sachin. I really appreciate.
Thanks, John. I appreciate the time. Thanks, man.
Great.
Bye.
All right. Okay. Speak soon.
So.